Hey. Oh, Jesus Christ. What's going on, guys? Holy God. Sorry about that dramatic intro, guys. I'm just kind of sweating at the teat here. I'm really anticipating talking about this, because this is something I'm really passionate about. Okay, and if you can't tell, I'm literally shaking right now. I'm so my blood is boiled. I'm ready to talk about this stuff. So today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to text, how to properly text someone over the phone. This is something that, unfortunately, a lot of Americans do not know how to do nowadays. This is something that I feel like everybody should know, but, you know, here we are. You cannot live with your own failure, and where did that bring you?
Back to me.
Really, the whole gist of this video, the whole message that you're going to be gaining, what you're really going to realize by the end is just knowing your audience. You know, that's the main goal of texting, is just knowing who you're texting. I feel like that should go without saying, though. I feel like that doesn't even apply to just texting. I feel like that applies to any scenario ever where you're with a person. So if you don't know what I mean by that, what I mean is, if you're texting someone who you're not too acquainted with, who you're not very familiar with, you just kind of started texting them, don't text in gigantic paragraphs or essays or send a bunch of messages. If you're texting someone that you are familiar with, that you're acquainted with, they're gonna understand, like, oh, they're just being friendly, you know, you guys kind of understand each other's dialect, you know, it's not that big of a deal. If you just met someone, like a day ago, and you just started texting them, and you're sending them, like, 10 messages, and each message only has, like, 2 words on it, you gotta just throw your phone in the trash. To the other person, that will come off as very annoying, and that is not something you want to come off as while texting. Another thing I want to address, and, I don't even know how this began. I don't know why this is a thing, but I feel like I kind of can't make this video without addressing it. And that is the typing in all lowercase thing. This is something that I've noticed for the past couple years. It's, you know, kind of started off as just a few people here and there would do it. I would be like, that's weird, why are you doing that? Why are you texting in all lowercase? Isn't that more work than just texting with correct capitalization? As time has gone on, I've started to notice more and more people do it. I'm inferring, I don't know if this is the case, I could be completely wrong, but I mean, you're looking at a basic high school sociology former student here, so I think I know what I'm talking about. I think the reason a lot of people are now texting in all lowercase is because they're trying to be original, they're trying to be different, they're trying to be different from the normal crowd, which is kind of used to texting, you know, with correct sentence structure, you know, with a capital letter at the beginning of each sentence, like the English language was made to be written. But what you're starting to notice now is that there are less and less people doing that. It's less upsetting to me and more just interesting. Like, I don't understand why. I just don't understand how this began. Like, who was the first person that was just like, you know what? I'm not going to use a capital letter. I'm not trying to insult you if you type in all lowercase, because I know there's probably a good 50% of you that do. I don't know why. Why did you start doing that? Like, what was your intention to start doing that? Because I've asked people who do that. I've asked them before, like, hey, why do you text like that? Normally they give some generic answer like, because why not? That's interesting. Somebody needs to write a case study on people who type in all lowercase. Send it to me. Don't send it to anybody else. Just find my email online. It's probably floating on there somewhere. Just email it to me within the next week. I'll take a look at it probably. We'll see. Another thing I want to talk about, this is something I noticed with a lot of older people. I don't know any younger people that do this, at least socially aware younger people, and that is misusing ellipses. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, a lot of middle-aged people to older people will do this thing where they text you like they're trying to tell you something, and they use ellipses. They use a ... at the end of their sentence. Here's the problem with that. Normally, when people use ellipses, it's implying something. It's implying that they are leading up to telling you something either negative or positive. And whenever I see somebody text me something with ellipses, I automatically think, oh God, what are they about to tell me? Am I gonna like it? Am I not gonna like it? I start getting a little anxious. And what it normally amounts to is they're just telling you a random sentence that, you know, is not supposed to give you any anxiety at all. Okay, say that you're talking to an older guy. He's texting you and he says, hey, did you hear about Dave? ... Imagine he says that exact same sentence, but without the ... Instead of a ... it's a question mark. Now listen to this. Hey, you hear about Dave? Or, hey, did you hear about Dave? And just just blew your mind. Guys, your minds are blown. Your minds are blown right now. But do you understand what I'm kind of getting at here? Another thing I want to talk about is the overuse of emojis. I don't know many people that do this, however, I see it happen a lot in Instagram captions or Twitter posts, and it kind of irks me. It kind of gets me a little riled up, if I'm gonna be completely honest here. Now, the form that this usually takes is with the laughing until crying emojis, which everybody uses. The majority of people use them. I get it, it's a very popular emoji. Unfortunately, nowadays, it's kind of taken on an ironic nature. And here's my rule with using the laughing until crying emoji. I think this is a rule that everybody should follow. I honest to God, I believe that if every single person on planet Earth followed this rule, world peace would be achieved. If you use one laughing until crying emoji, that means that you thought something was funny, and you want to let the person that you're texting know that it was funny, and you appreciate them saying that. If you use two, you let them know, hey, that's some pretty funny stuff, okay? I'm getting a good old hearty laugh out of that. If you use 3 laughing until crying emojis, that better be the funniest thing you've ever heard in your entire life, okay? If you use 3, that's pushing it. It's still acceptable, but it's pushing it. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's pushing it. If you use 4 laughing until crying emojis, you have officially entered the danger zone. There's no situation in which you should ever use more than 3 laughing until crying emojis, unless you're being ironic. If you're being ironic, I understand. Also, another thing that I've started to notice is a lot more popular lately is the cowboy emoji. I don't get it, I don't like it, I wish it would stop, I wish Apple would just delete it from their thing. It's not funny. I didn't laugh. I just want you to just break your phone. I want you to get a sledgehammer and just kind of go wild at it, okay? Now, another big thing that I really want to touch on here is I honestly think this is one of the most severe problems facing America today. I see this happen with a lot of teens and a lot of adults even, and I think this is disgusting and just needs to stop. There's an excuse that I've been hearing for years now. And that excuse is, hey, I'm sorry I didn't reply to your text, I fell asleep. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You didn't fall asleep. No, don't say you fell asleep. You did not fall asleep. Both me and you know that you didn't fall asleep. And if you did, okay, listen, it happens every now and then. But there's no way that you fell asleep every single time I texted you. There's just not. You don't fall asleep for 20 hours. That just doesn't happen, guy. I'm sorry to tell you that. I would actually really appreciate it if the next time you do that to someone, instead of saying that you fell asleep, just say that you were busy. Just say, hey man, I got the text, I saw the notification, but I was really busy at the time and I couldn't read it, okay? That's all you gotta do. And if you did fall asleep every single time that we've texted, then you just fix your sleeping schedule. At that point, that's not even my problem. That's your problem. So if you do any of these things that I was talking about today, then, I don't know, just kind of knock it off. Stop that, okay? Alright, well, if you guys like this video, like, comment, subscribe, do all that amazing stuff, and I'll see you in the future.